Hi there, welcome to Luna's Soul. My name is Luna and I'm a psychic tarot reader, a spellcaster, a Reiki master, and a spiritual coach. So today I was inspired to create a video about how to find the best psychic or medium for you. I get a lot of calls from people that find my business listing through Google, and they'll call me and ask a series of questions about what it is that I do, which I like to share what that is if they're not familiar with my work, with my videos, with my live streams on Facebook or my blog, or if they're not familiar with what I do, I'm happy to tell them what my process is like. However, I do encounter people that say, one of the things that they say to me is, will you answer a couple of free questions for me so I know that you're legit? I find this personally very offensive. I get paid for my gifts, my talents, and my time. I would never think of going to a restaurant and say, will you give me a free appetizer to see if I like the food and then I will actually pay for a meal. Or I would never go to a doctor and say, hey, can you kind of give me 5-10 minutes of your time and then I'll decide if you're a legit doctor before I actually have a full consultation. That would just be unheard of. That I would never think of doing something like that. So I don't understand why people would come to me, to my place of business, and ask for free this, free that, just to see if I'm legit. That's very offensive. However, I understand the flip side. I understand that, from the customer's point of view, there are a lot of uncertainties as to who is legit, who's not, how do you know who to trust with your money, with your life, with these major life decisions when you're going to someone blindly. So that's why I wanted to create this video, to give you guys some insights as to what to look for, what to consider when you are actually selecting the right psychic for you, for what you need. First of all, there is a difference between a psychic and a medium, okay? And I actually have a video, I'm going to link it in the description box of this video, where I actually go in depth into the differences of a psychic and a medium. But very briefly, if you are wanting a psychic reading, this is a reading where you get advice, where the psychic will connect with you and your energies and will give you some insights and some clarity and some messages of things that are going on with you. So usually you'll have some intuitions about something that's going on in your life and you need some clarity. You just want confirmation from a psychic that can confirm or deny some of these, insecurities or things that are going on with you. You need clarity around. And this is about you and your life. That is a psychic reading. If you're wanting to connect with a departed loved one, someone that has passed away, that is a psychic medium reading, okay? So that's really the difference there. Once you know what it is that you're looking for, it's much easier to go and find the right person for you when you know what kind of consultation you're looking for. Secondly, one of the biggest things that I tell people is, people that come to me, I'll say, listen, I really highly, I appreciate if you tell your friends and your family about the experience you had with me, because referral and word of mouth is one of the best ways to find out who's a reputable psychic, who's a reputable medium. If you ask family and friends for referrals, more than likely they're going to be very candid. They're going to be very open and say, listen, what I liked about this particular session was that, she was very blunt. She didn't sugarcoat. This worked for me. Just so you know, this is how she works. This was her process. This is what I like. This is what I didn't like. So referrals and word of mouth is a great way to find someone that may or may not fit what you're looking for or what style of reading you're looking for. So asking your family and friends is a great way to find out who is legit and who's not. Another way is to definitely call the person that you are considering. I would definitely pick up the phone, have a brief conversation, not to get a freebie, because I personally think that that's not a cool way to approach things, but simply have a brief conversation, knowing full well that, psychics and psychic mediums charge for their time. Keep it brief, but simply find out what it is that they do. What's their process? Do they read tarot cards? Do they read tea leaves? What spiritual path do they maybe even practice? Is that in alignment with what you're seeking? If you are maybe follow Christianity and Catholicism or something like that, would you, find someone that speaks to angels, connects with saints, whatever it is, find out if that particular psychic or medium is in alignment with what you're needing and what you're comfortable with, and you understand their process and how they work. I very quickly can tell people in a phone conversation if they're kind of like they don't know what to ask, what can I expect from a reading? Very briefly, I've got my 30-second pitch. I'm a clairvoyant. I'm an empath. I will get psychic insights through my third eye. I will see symbols from my spirit guides in the form of visual symbols. So you will hear me say, I see this and I see that, or I feel tingling in my body, or I feel the emotional state that the client that I am reading for is going through. I also use tarot cards and a pendulum if I feel like I need additional clarification, but we basically answer as many questions as possible during our session time. So that's basically gives them some insights as to what they can expect with a session with me. Also, I would definitely look at their website. A website will really reveal. Hopefully they have a website, okay? So they have a website and they have put some time and effort into this. One of the things that I would look for in a website for a psychic or psychic medium is, do they have testimonials? Do they have a lot of testimonials? Do they seem legit? Is it coming from a reputable source where it's through the Google business listing, Yelp, maybe Facebook reviews? All those reviews will give you some insights as to kind of what to expect in a session with that particular psychic. Another thing is their picture. I feel that there's a lot of psychics out there, for whatever reasons, they may be legit, but I feel that it's important that if you're going to be working with someone and you're going to be putting out $75, $100, $150, whatever it may be of your hard-earned money, that you know who you're doing business with. A clear picture, a face picture of the person that you're working with, I think, is a good indication, so you know that they are confident enough in their abilities, confident enough in what they're putting out there, that they put a clear picture of themselves and have a bio, an about me kind of a section, so you get familiar with them, their work. And again, put a face to the name of who it is that you're handing your hard-earned money to. For me, it's a little bit of a red flag when there's no picture of the psychic that you are dealing with on their website. Also, one of the great things that you can look for in a website is to look at their blog or events page, or anything that gives you additional feedback as to what their thought process is, what information they have to impart on people. If they have podcasts, if they have blogs, articles, maybe even videos are a fantastic way to get more in depth into what the psychic is about. Again, to see if they believe in hexes, do they believe, what do they believe in? What kind of information, experience, background do they have? And how are they sharing this with the world, their experience and their knowledge with the world? I personally like making videos, as you can see. For me, this is a great way for people to hear my voice, see my face, get familiar with the way I express myself, how I communicate, my communication style. And that should give people an idea of my personality and whether my message or my communication style is something that resonates with people, so they can make a better decision on whether they want to come to me for clarity and advice. So videos are a great way. If they happen to have videos on their site or on their Facebook page, or they're active in some social media outlet, it should give you some indication, again, further indication of, is this someone whose reading style, communication style resonates with you? It creates a sense of trust. It's another way to get to know the person that you're about to have a consultation with. So I personally would look at their website and see what kind of information they have on there. And if they have information like blog entries, videos, articles, testimonials, these are all great ways to know who you're dealing with. One other piece of advice with consulting with a psychic and a medium, I get a lot of people, at least twice on a weekly basis, 2 to 3 times a weekly basis, I get people coming to me and asking, am I cursed? And this is in the initial conversation where they're like, what are you about? Do you have openings this week? Do you have availabilities? One of the things that I get asked is, am I cursed? Can you tell me if I'm cursed? And for me, that tells me that they've probably dealt with a person that's not very reputable, somebody that has tried to take advantage of people's vulnerabilities, and is just basically out there deceiving people and out to get their money. So for me, that's a huge red flag. If you're dealing with a psychic that is very quick to say, they may be very crazy accurate and extremely gifted at what they do, but if they end up saying something like, well, I feel like you have some negativity or some curse or something like that we need to release, and I need $1,500 to uncurse you, that is a huge red flag that the person that you're dealing with is not reputable, and they're not going to stop at $1,500. I literally had a client with me yesterday who had gone to another client before, another psychic before, who had literally asked for $4,000, $4,000 to help them get unhexed, uncursed. That absolutely was, makes me very upset that people like that are the ones that give the people like me a bad name. There are psychics out there that do want to help, that we do this to help people. We may have a gift, and this is something that we do. We are trying to deliver messages of hope and clarity and inspiration and truly help people and give them clarity on their soul journey and soul path. And then there's people out there that have the gift, but truly take advantage of that vulnerability and ask for thousands of dollars in return. So I would definitely steer clear from anyone that starts leaning into that kind of world where all of a sudden you're cursed, and nothing in your life would indicate that would be the case. It's not to say that curses do not exist. It's not to say that protection spells and protection and spiritual cleansings don't have their place in this world. I actually do spiritual cleansings, but I don't find a lot of people that walk around being cursed, and I sure as heck wouldn't charge $4,000 to help somebody. So definitely steer clear from that entire kind of psychic or medium that you would be dealing with. I would also, guys, consider phone readings or Skype, online readings or phone readings as a way to have a good and accurate reading with a psychic. And I say this for many reasons. Number one, this would open up the world of possibilities of the psychic that you can consult with, because if you find that you resonate with someone that is in California and you're sitting in Florida, but her style of reading or his style of reading really resonates with you because you've followed their videos or you've seen their blog entries, or they have a lot of that they're sharing to the world, there's no reason why you couldn't have a phone consultation, a phone session with a psychic that is not in person. And I will tell you that 95% of my clients are not in person. I have a lot of phone sessions, a lot of Skype sessions. I offer this, and I personally prefer those sessions because I find that those sessions are extremely accurate, if not more so than if you were sitting in front of me. And the reason for that, and I actually have an article that I put out in my blog, and I can put the link in the description box below, about why a phone reading can be more accurate than an in-person reading. And the reason for that is because when you're in person, there is a lot of visual cues, a lot of things information that you could be giving the psychic unconsciously. For both people, he or she may be receiving the information unconsciously from just looking at you. They might look at your jewelry. They may look at the way you dress. When they start speaking, you start making a facial expression that says, I don't believe this information, or I believe that. And that could influence the outcome or the information that is being relayed to you in an in-person session. However, in the phone consultation, those visual cues are not existent. You're there as a psychic. From my point of view, I'm actually just giving you exactly what I'm getting intuitively. I'm getting this, I'm getting that, I'm putting my cards down. I'm like on a roll, and there's no visual cues here to influence the messages that I'm delivering. So I wouldn't discard having a reading with someone that is in another location, that is not in your town, or someone that you can drive to, because this would open up the world of possibilities of the psychic that is right for you, number one. And two, you might end up having a much more accurate and better experience if you are open and receptive to a phone reading or a Skype reading or whatever it is, that again, with someone that is not in your immediate location. Last but not least, I would, if you are not know where to go, you're kind of looking online and you're not finding anyone, nothing resonates, you really don't have any friends that can make a referral, whatever it may be, another option is for you to go into a metaphysical shop, a crystal shop, a pagan shop, something like that, a botanica, and ask for referrals there. They probably come across and they have a wide network of people that they work with that already come into their shops, buy these kinds of materials. They buy candles, tarot cards, whatever it is, and they have built networks, and they have built people that they can refer their clients to because of the amount of psychics they probably come across on a daily basis. So if you trust the shop owner, if you feel like you can walk in and get a referral, that might also be a good way to get a referral for someone in your community. All right, guys. So that's what I have. I just wanted to share, some ways that you can find a psychic or psychic medium that is right for you. There is always going to be, not every style of reading is going to be everyone's cup of tea. I may be a very honest, open person, kind of a very friendly, outgoing, dynamic kind of a reader, and that might suit a lot of people, but it may turn off another kind of person, and this kind of person really needs someone that's much more subdued and calm and zen and everything's namaste, so that's something that to consider. What do you need out of this reading? What kind of information do you need out of this reading? What are you comfortable with? What do you seek? And that should guide the decision into selecting the right person for you. All right, guys, let me know if you found this information helpful. Give it a thumbs up, a comment. Let me know what your sessions have been like. If you've gotten a psychic reading before, what's worked for you, what's not worked for you. I'd be happy to hear from you guys. And of course, if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you would subscribe so you can be notified each time I upload. Take care. Have a great one. Bye-bye.